Well. Is it coming home, Ernie? Is it coming? Is it coming home? Does it look like it's coming?
Well,
can you see it on the 18?
You told me that you was gonna put on your France shirt, and I put on my France shirt, and it couldn't work with the blue background that we had on there. You know what I mean? So I've got Gargamel on instead. I've got Friends for Life Gargamel. Friends for Life.
I was gonna put on my France shirt, but you know what? I realized, Ernie, a bit like you, that shirt is massive. It is. When I had that shirt, I thought I was Patrick Vieira wearing that shirt. And I used to do five-a-side football, and I used to strut around the middle of the park down at Vale Farm, thinking I was Patrick Vieira playing for France.
No, I think that you've probably thought that you was. You have to go back past Vieira, mate. Don't make it sound like it was.
No, it's a recent shirt. Vieira.
Yeah,
it was a recent shirt. Felt like Pat Vieira, but then. It felt me like Patricia Vieira, so I just
you know what I mean? I'll tell you what, there's a difference between when you got football, the Premiership, and when we got these competitions going on. There's not a feeling during the week. You get a feeling when the Premiership is on. It's a feeling right the way through. This is very sort of intermittent. One day and then the next day, you know what I mean?
Well, it's because you and your fellow England fans are only playing every few games, and we have to watch the great teams like Italy, France, Belgium, Holland.
Don't switch. Because
I'm not switching.
You're switching. You were back in England all of a sudden.
I'm not switching. I ain't switching. I ain't switching. Not for you. I'm not switching, son.
Why are you playing this? You continually play football's coming home, and you're telling me that you're not switching, bro.
No, I'm playing it for you because. Anyway, people. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. It's the Fixture List Show. Another Friday. We are here throughout the Euros, and we're casting our eye on the games that have took place, obviously, during the week. And a lot of I know a lot of people slept through some games. And, of course, we're casting our eye on the game tonight, the big game tonight. Braveheart versus England. It's going to be crazy. The Battle of Britain happening today. In around about 55 minutes.
Yes.
So myself and Daddy Ernie, as always, will be discussing the riders and the fallers who are going to be dropping off. But it looks like, as the title of the show suggests, there's no shocks yet.
Not yet.
No shocks, Ernie. What's going on?
Everybody's been, I think in the first week, really, first set, people's been feeling one another out, apart from the Italians, who's just gone berserk and just pure tree goal.
They said the Italians don't want to feel nobody. They just want. They're just lashing.
They're just lashing. Anything that comes in front of them,
come their way.
Be a shot.
We said it last week, and I think that's them until the end of the tournament, until they leave. I reckon even if they're getting done 4-0, they'll be lashing same way. What a team!
Yeah, man. Well, we did say that they were the dark horses before the tournament even start, and they haven't let us down so far.
Most definitely. They've run the most. They've done all the running. They've run the most amount. They've chased the ball the hardest. Yeah, and they I think they've, if I'm not correct, they've scored the most goals so far.
Definitely. And one thing, their manager knows the thing. You know what I mean? To me, Mancini, he knows what it takes to win as well. So I got a suspicious little feeling about the Italians, really. I have.
But come on, Ernie, you've watched football long enough. You can't judge any tournament after 2 games. It just doesn't happen.
We were saying that France is odds on to win it, and they never even played. And we were saying they're odds on to win.
Funny enough, they said in the recent times, or in recent memory, I wouldn't say recent memory, but in recent times, the favourites never win the Euro.
Never win. Yeah. I did hear that as well. So, this could be the first time, though. There's a lot of firsts in this. Ronaldo.
It's 2021. It is 2021, so anything can happen, mate.
Yeah, you know that because they're saying it's the 2020, so anything is possible. You know what I mean? Ronaldo's become the most, scored the most goals now in Euro competition. So anything is possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go.
But what we want you to do is put your what's its name in the bottom of the page. Whatever you want to say. What do we call it again, Robbo?
Well, just share it. Yeah. Oh, your comments. Oh, yes, you want the comments underneath? Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And good evening, Michael Williams. He's just arrived. Put your comments in there. Tell us how you feel that it's going. Also, share it as well. Just share as much as you can. Subscribe to YouTube, and just get it up there and running. You know what I mean?
It'd be nice to hear your comments now. I like Michael Williams was lashing you last week, Ernie.
Yes.
He was like, "What's wrong with supporting England? You live here, you work here.
Yes,
you have whole land here."
The only thing, Robert, I'm saying what a lot of other people are saying. You know what I mean? I work with a guy called Nick. He's a staunch Tottenham supporter. He said he ain't even watching the Euros. He's not interested. He's not supporting England, nothing. And he's English. There's a lot of people, because what happens, the press gets everyone's back up, whether it's football, cricket, tennis, whatever. They get everybody's back up. And, there's a lot of people like me. Good evening, Patrick Tapping. He says, I'm here. I'm here too. Good evening, boys. Maybe Patrick can tell us who is going to be the new Spurs manager, because it looked like nobody don't want that job.
It's crazy. Well, Ernie, you say that Anthony can vouch for it. You say that not everyone is an England fan, but we found one of your neighbors, very close neighbor of yours in your neck of the woods in Harrow. He's called Big Kev. He's your mate. He is a fan and he believes England's gonna win. And I don't know if Anthony can post that picture. Let's just see what your neighbor's opinion after he heard your show. He went to the tattoo parlor. Anthony, have you got it there?
Big Kev.
Kev. There you go.
Euros 2020 with England.
Big Kev.
Got that on his knee, isn't it?
Yeah, and he said, show Daddy Ernie this. There you go. That is what you call a prediction.
You know that, and I hope that he doesn't have to get rid of that when it's all over. You know what I mean?
just rub over it. He'll just tattoo over it like Francie Belgium.
Michael Robbo, that comes from a Welsh supporter.
No, that's not a Welsh supporter. That's not a Welsh supporter. And also, Ernie,
we want to see him.
Also, put your comments underneath. Now, as you know, you've watched the show, and last week, Daddy Ernie admitted that he was an England fan.
Oh,
right? There's a difference between was and still is. I reckon he still is. That's why I'll keep bringing his anthem here. You know what I mean? I reckon that he still is an England fan. But Ernie, your man Sterling played, and your man Sterling scored.
Yes,
your man done the business on the park.
Definitely. Not a special goal. It wasn't special, but he scored just yards away from where he used to live, where he used to go to school. And it was one of his dreams to score a goal in a major tournament at Wembley. So he's done that. But one thing I would have liked to see, Robbo, is when he scored the goal, he took the knee. I would have loved to have seen that. You know why? I was watching the cameras earlier on, and they were panning to a guy who was booing when the teams took the knee, when England took the knee. When Sterling scored, they went back to him somehow, and he was cheering. So I would like to see Rashford or one of them Monday, if they score, take the knee, and then let's see what really is going on.
Well, you know? Listen, Sterling said, forget taking the knee. I'm going to take a picture for Daddy Ernie just to prove that I got no problem. I am the man. Foden is that man. And this is what he presented to us, Ernie.
All right.
There you
go.
There you go. It's like, he's like, who looks cuter?
You know that.
Him? Who scored more goals? Me or him?
Yeah.
So, he done that picture especially for you, Ernie.
Bruv,
he said, make sure you send that to Daddy Ernie. He said, I got no problem. I'm still the man.
Robbo, you're contradicting yourself because you always be saying about Foden, right? You've been saying, remember, when City played in Europe, I'd said I'm not watching the match unless Sterling's playing. It's obvious that Pep heard and he put Sterling in the team.
Well, there you go. Everybody's happy. Foden and Sterling are playing.
Gareth Southgate is that's his go-to man, Sterling. So he put him in the team. I'm happy with that. I haven't got a problem with so much of the players. It's just the England. That's what I got a problem with because they just think that they're great. And they're not. They're miles off of great.
But it's Great Britain / England. It's great.
Yeah, well, whatever. You know what I mean? But I'm not falling for that. You know what I'm saying? Our man Rodney's at Wembley tonight. We was hoping to link with him, but he's just saying that he can't get to us now. If he can get to us later on, he'll jump in. But I was hoping to get him to see what the atmosphere was like at Wembley and at the moment, and how the build-up is going on. But Rodney's not like me and you because we're controversial. So we would have gone into the heart of the Scottish supporters and find out what's going on, and the English supporters. Rodney's probably sitting in one of them boxes having prawns and all them business. Champagne.
Rodney's doing the right things. You can't be anywhere near those Scottish fans. Did you see the picture of that Scottish fan, the video of that Scottish fan that was drunk somewhere in the West End? And the man's walking.
When it was in the pool. There was one in the pool and they put soap sucks in it.
This guy was staggering through the West End. Truck, van, taxis coming past. And a man's coming past on a bike, like a motorbike. This man said, I'll smash that. He walks into the bike, lick down the bike, and carries on walking. Like, I got to get to a bar. No, the Scottish fans, the Scottish fans, big up all the fans of Scotland. They are turned up. It is their cup final. And listen, man, if Scotland wins that game, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I'll be just as happy if Scotland get a result against England. It would be an amazing achievement for the Scots. This is their final. And yeah, Braveheart.
I mean, Bonnie Prince Charlie and all them people.
Yeah, it would be a result, but I don't see it. But we'll talk about our predictions in a little while. It's a good thing that our mate Rodney's not here. But you were talking about the British press, and there's something I picked up during the week. It was pretty disgusting from the British press. In their little subtle, as we would say, little cute way of that slick stuff that they do to try on one hand to praise you, but on the other hand to get that message right. Yes. Get that message right. He ain't one of ours, but we'll just it was very slick. I think it was the Daily Mail posted this on Monday. Which is really something. The making of Calvin Phillips, England's latest football hero. His Irish mum had to sleep on the family sofa. Like we never slept on a sofa. Anyway, he had the same girlfriend since he was 11, and his Jamaican dad is in prison as he takes the Euro 2020 by storm.
Now,
Daily Mail.
Yeah, Daily Fail, I call it. I'll give them credit. They're sports.
Post it back up again, Anthony. Post that picture back. Daily Mail. This is what you're subjected to all the time with this trash newspaper. And this is why Ernie feels the way he feels, because when they go over the top, they go over the top. I mean, the fact that his mum's Irish and she slept on a sofa, I don't get it.
No.
And the fact that his dad's Jamaican and is in prison. I know plenty of people who are English, Irish, Scottish, Polish, French who are in prison. Why? What has his nationality got to do with it?
You know that. I mean, there's a well-known Premier footballer who's now an assistant coach, and allegations were that his dad was involved in some cocaine business. You know what I mean?
Plenty of that going on.
I don't see what that has got to do with football. And there again, Robbo, you see, that's why I can't back them, because they always come up with these foolishness. It's like when they come up, Raheem had the thing on his leg, the gun thing on his leg. And they just berserk. You know what I mean? Bullets.
Yeah, they're crazy. I mean, but this is what you got to. But luck, thankfully, we don't really have to put up with the British press as much as we had to, like 20 years ago. With the advent of modern social media, to be quite honest, Ernie, I think really, unless you're into those newspapers, nobody don't give a toss. But I'm just showing you that's the example. It still exists today. The way they go for players in some ways, praising him but attacking him for his Irish mum and his Jamaican dad in prison. Wow, unbelievable. Not that the geezer played, had a good game and set up the winner for Sterling. But there you go. Yeah. Anyway, we got our guests in the building also. They're here to join with us on a Friday night because they love football just as much as you. I don't know if they support England as much as you, Ernie, but Robert White and Crystal Davis are in the house also. So let's welcome them in the building. Robert White, aka Stats and Facts, and Crystal Lickabot Talawa. And she ain't supporting England. You know something. No way, she says.
Robert, who you supporting?
England.
Robert. No, me. I think of me. I don't know. I'm a bit split at the moment. I'm thinking, well, Italy. We have them as a dark horse, so Italy is there. But I really want to see Belgium do something this season.
Okay. Why, Rob?
Because I think that if they don't do it now, they're not going to do it at all. Yeah. Because they got an aging team, and I think if they don't deliver now, they're not going to deliver at all. So
who do you want to see win, Crystal? Like in your hearts of all hearts, who would you like to see pick up that trophy?
France, no doubt. Like France team just oozes black excellence. And we saw how well they performed at the World Cup as well. But same could be said for Belgium as well. So my toss-up would be between either Belgium or France.
Okay.
I saw something during the week, actually. Somebody said that no team who ain't got no black man in there is going to win the Euros.
Well, we laugh about it, but let's break that down. If we look at Germany's done amazing things over the year and over the years, and Spain, they've done amazing things. They've their academies of football has been excellent. It's been like for well over 3 decades, right? And if you look at France, what they were doing at Clairefontaine, they kind of put those things in place as well. England's had it for quite some time, but who's used their academies the best are the teams that's gone on to win those coveted trophies. And France have been doing that. Germany's been doing that. So let's just say if you use the system the correct way, you should have a chance of winning. What's gone wrong with England?
The pressure of the press and the pressure of the country.
I just don't think they use the system properly.
I think it's that. I also think it's the selection of the right manager as well. If you look back, the last time we got to the semi-final of a World Cup was back in 1990 when Bobby Robson took England there. And he had a few years to do that. Now, what's in tradition, what I've always seen, they've always held on to the same players and made it hard for new blood to come through quickly. Southgate changed that. When Southgate came in, he more or less started bringing in all the younger players. And no one was certain of a place. You didn't have anyone that said, right, you're definitely playing and you got that for life. So he brought in new players, turned them over quickly as well. And he got to the semi-final. He's the first one to get to the semi-final since 1990.
But to add to that, Robert, he's also applied that same way of working with the system, within the system. He was the under 21s coach. Exactly. He knows of those players. He's brought them through very quickly because they've adapted to the system and he's brought them through. And that's the same thing Germany, France, and Spain has done over the years. So when I ask the question, when Ernie says having black players, we've been blessed with black players in the Premiership for many years.
What it said, Robbo, is that no team in the Euros who ain't got a black man in their side is going to win. That's what this was a piece. I think that was in the Daily Fail as well. It was just a comment that, or it was on social media. I think it was on social media actually. Somebody just said that, and I thought, interesting. You know what I mean? I watched teams like Slovakia and the Ukraine, and I think interesting.
So when North Macedonia wins this Euro, don't chat to me, you know.
That's an interesting.
North Macedonia's gonna turn up. They were minutes away of blooding a team, man. Come on, man. These teams that we used to call minnows, that England used to go in and score 9 and 10 goals against, they're not minnows anymore, are they?
No. What is you gonna say, Crystal?
As I was saying, the person that brought up that point about if a black player, or if your team don't have a certain number of black player in your squad, then you're likely to not win. And you look at the England team, and obviously the three of you will be able to correct me on this, but since I've been watching England play the last World Cup, so the World Cup in France, that's the most I've ever seen England as diverse. I think over like half of their squad was either black or mixed race, and the majority of their players came from like Caribbean heritage. So I think one of the reasons why they haven't been successful in the past, aside from selecting black players, but when they do select these black players, I think the aura within the camp just hasn't been quite right. And then you combine that with external pressure from the press. I'm sure you guys remember not too long ago, I believe it was back in April, where Sean Wright Phillips came out and he said that he revealed that the England PR team told him not to speak out about racism. And if I could go back up, if I could find that quote for you, just bear with me.
Yep, very interesting point. As Crystal looks at that quote, I think that when I saw that, I think, yeah, man, that's got a lot of weight to it still. But they might actually, like you say, Macedonia or the Ukraine or Slovakia might prove us wrong.
Wouldn't it be funny? It would be, but actually, it wouldn't be funny. It'd be great for football. And actually, as much as we know very little, a lot of us know very little about those teams, and even the background of those teams and their countries, apart from when we see them play in the qualifiers or in the Nation League. It's good for football. It's brilliant for football that people can come through and make a name, turn up a tournament live for the whole world to see. Some of these players are playing some are playing in Division 1, some are playing in lower part of the Scottish League, and they're doing the business, man. So yeah, more of that, man. I want to see more of that on it. At least that's a bit. At least that is entertaining. That's what you call entertainment. The squad is out for tonight, Ernie. Let me run your England squad by you, because I know you're waiting here.
By us.
So in
Crystal,
goal,
did you find that, Crystal?
Yeah. So he did an interview, like I said, back in April, and he was touching on racism that he faced when he was an England player. And he was saying things like, for me, I just found it shocking. I honestly couldn't believe it. When it happened to the likes of myself, Coley and Defoe, it was forgotten about within 48 hours, and nothing was said. We were basically on our own, and we were just told not to talk to the press. So it was just get on with it. That was it.
Yeah, that's the attitude, man. That's been long been the attitude. Get on with it. Get on with it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Crystal.
It's something we've seen a long time, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw an interview. There was an interview with Viv Anderson when he played for Brian Clough when he made his debut, and they were throwing bananas at him. And I remember him saying he went in the dressing room and he must have told Brian Clough that they were throwing bananas at him. And Brian Clough more or less said to him, well, when
How
you go
did it taste?
Yeah, bring this one back. Bring me a banana.
Yeah, it's going to be something.
So it was more like get on with it, Yeah. And I don't think we received that that sort of backing. They were more or less told that people are going to do anything to try and get you off your game. Don't let them get you off your game. And that was the attitude they used to it, rather than to say, well, look, this is racism and we've got to tackle it. And that was really the sort of things that managers was doing then and continue to do. Try and get the black players to see it as someone's trying to put you off your game, rather than actually take the approach to try and tackle what was going on,
So how much do you think that my little piece of taking the knee when they score a goal, how much impact do you think that would have? Do you think that would have an impact?
I think what it is, Ernie, is that if they take the knee when they score a goal, I think it would be amazing. Yeah, I do think that would be amazing. I don't think players would. I don't think fans, those racist fans, would start booing. You know, because
not if the ball's gone in. They won't boo.
Yeah,
well, that's what I would like to see. Well, it's obvious.
No, they wouldn't boo.
But that's the test that you want to see. So I mean,
well, they panned the guy before when they took the knee, national anthem and that, and they took the knee, and he was booing. And then when Sterling scored, he was cheering. So I would like to see them take the knee and then pan right across the stadium and see exactly what's going on.
I'll tell you what it is, Ernie. What I see it as is that with football is very tribal. Yeah, it becomes very tribal. And as much as the racist is a racist supporting that team, if a black player scores against the other team, he's deciding, well,
he's one of us.
Yeah, he's with us. He's with us. You know? And that's the difference. You know, he's going to choose and say, well, now he's with us. But outside of that,
he's not with us.
Yeah.
What's the team, Robbo? Robbo, you got the team there. What is the team?
Well, we'll get to. Hopefully, we'll get to test that theory if England do score. There's 22,000 fans right now in Wembley. So the teams, or should I start with Scotland, Ernie? I know you want me to go with England, right?
No, go with Bonnie Prince Charlie first. Let's see what's going on.
In Scotland, Marshall's in goal. 3 at the back. Hanley, McTominay, Turney. So the Arsenal boys back.
McTominay at the back.
Yeah, he's playing his centre half because he was actually whack against Czech Republic as a midfielder. And I always told you, Ernie, he's such an average player. Best he just got at the back. So he's at the back. They flooded the midfield. The good thing about the Scotland midfield, the young player called Billy Gilmore, the Chelsea young player, is a very talented footballer. He's going to be sitting in the middle. So it's going to be very interesting to see how much he has the ball, because I think England's going to have the ball. But Gilmore's in the middle, O'Donnell, McGregor, McGinn and Robertson. So Robertson's kind of like a fullback. And up top, they brought in Adams to start. I don't know why they didn't start Adams against Czech Republic. And the guy called Dykes, the Australian-Scottish guy who couldn't hit a barn door. He's awful. England's team in goal, Ernie's favourite goalkeeper, Pickford. James is being called into the team, the Chelsea player. Stones and Mings at the back. And surprise, surprise, they brought in Shaw.
Okay, so they're playing 4 at the back.
Yeah, playing 4 at the back. Phillips is playing on in the midfield with Rice, and your favourite player, one of your favourite, Mount, is in the team. So the midfield hasn't changed, and neither has the up top, Foden, Kane, and Sterling.
Now, Kane had a poor game last week against Croatia. He was poor, wasn't he?
Yeah, very poor, very poor. And there wasn't apart from Kaleta Carr, who's like Croatia's, he's a starter alongside the ex-Liverpool player who wasn't fit in that game. It wasn't really much Kane. I mean, Kane should have filled these boots against Croatia. Their backline wasn't really great. But
poor. Nah.
There you go. There you go.
There seems to be a problem with England scoring a good amount of goals in open play when they get to the tournaments. And in the last World Cup, Kane got the golden boot, but most of his goals were like penalties.
Set pieces, yeah.
Set pieces. So I think he needs to really prove himself in the open play area to be really world. Because everyone, they say world-class player. If you're a world-class player, you really got to start delivering at these events.
Am I hearing you saying, Robert, that Kane's not world-class?
Well, he's world-class in the Premier League. He's got to just show he's world-class when it comes to the world stage.
Yeah, but you can't be world-class in one competition and world-class in the other.
Well,
spit it out, son. Is he not world-class? Because I just don't think you can be world-class in the Premier League and not world-class for international. That sounds a bit like that Alan Shearer nonsense where this man scored all these goals for Newcastle, couldn't win nothing with Newcastle, but scored a hatful of goals and then couldn't score for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years for his country.
Kane's proven it every season in the Premier League.
Yeah, but I'm saying so did Shearer. Yeah. But can you imagine this guy played for England for 2 years without scoring and was still picked ahead of Collymore, Fowler, Cole, Ian Wright.
Yep.
No, it's a dilemma I can't answer. But the truth is, he needs to start delivering it on this stage.
Do you think that the game, England, with the youthful players that they have now, they when they turn the ball around, they turn it around really quick. But sometimes you see that with Tottenham, when Tottenham are playing, you've got Son and you've got Moura. They turn the ball around and they get up the pitch. Kane is always lagging behind, and they say, oh, well, it's that new position Harry Kane's got. You know, it's like a number 10 he provides for the strikers. Do you think he's trying to do the same thing for England? Like lagging behind, and
No.
Foden's gone, Sterling's gone, Rashford's gone, and this guy's still at the back? Or do you think it's a time that they should bring in Calvert-Lewin?
I think what we need, we do need a centre forward that can actually have the pace to keep with the flank players. Kane can score goals. He just needs to get it right. Maybe he's trying too hard. I remember when we were playing in the World Cup and he got an opportunity to sort of square up
Sterling,
and he went for the shot.
he went for the near post.
Yeah, he went for the near post, and you think, well, you're trying too hard. Just square the man, get the goal. But I don't know. I think he's trying too hard, really. I think that's what
listen, we got 30 minutes before the game starts. We can do it again, ladies before gentlemen. I know, Crystal, you've had we talked about it last week. We didn't manage to squeeze it in. This tournament was going to be preceded by the tournament in Qatar. But there may be a few players that might not see that tournament. But if I was any of those players, these players now playing in the Euros, if I get to the final or anywhere near the quarterfinal, I am telling my coach, I'm still playing. I could be 38, 30. I'm still playing. What players that could be possibly saying goodbye to international football? Tell us the players that you want to highlight.
I think I'm not sure about the World Cup, because I think a few of the players on my long list, they might just sneak into the World Cup, but I'm almost 100% certain that they won't be around 4 years time for the next World Cup. So players on my initial list, and then I'll do a breakdown list of players who I think definitely won't make the next Euros. So on my initial list, I have Benzema. He is currently 33 years old. At the next Euros, he will be 37. We have Giroud, who is currently 34. Next Euros, he will be 38. We have Muller, who is currently 31. Next Euros, he will be 35. We have Ronaldo, who is currently 36. At the next Euros, he will be 40. We have Busquets, who is currently 32. At the next Euros, he will be 36. Lewandowski is currently 32. And at the next Euros, he will be 36. Hummels is currently 32. At the next Euros, he will 36. Also, we have Lowe, who is the current German manager, and we know for certain that current Euros, he'll be stepping aside, so he'll no longer be the German manager. I decided to include him in our list because he's in charge with Germany for the best part of 15 plus years. Moving along, we also have Chiellini. He is 36. At the next Euros, he will be 40 years old. And we have Sergio Ramos, who is currently 35. At the next Euros, he will be 39. Now, on my breakdown list, we have Giroud. He's the first player on my, this is in no particular order, but Giroud is on my breakdown list. And I think he's one of those players who is just like massively underrated and quite underappreciated as well. I'm sure you guys already know that Giroud is chasing the position for being France's leading top goal scorer. And he's at the moment, he's on 46 goals. Just ahead of him is Thierry Henry with 51 goals. Giroud has actually gone ahead of the legends like Michel Platini, Zinedine Zidane, to name a few. So I've decided to put Olivier Giroud on my list because I think that he's massively underrated. He's also won a handful of trophies at club level as well. So obviously the Champions League of Chelsea and also the Europa League, FA Cups with Arsenal as well. Lewandowski is the next player who's on my list. He has 66 goals for his for Poland, so he's their leading goal scorer. He hasn't actually set alight. He hasn't set alight the Euros just yet, and I do trust that he should come into himself in the next game. On my list, we also have Chiellini. I hope I pronounced his name right. Recently he registered his 14th game at the European Championship finals, more than any other outfield player for Italy. When you think of Chiellini, you think of experience and warrior.
You think
And
of a
obviously
wall.
we saw it. Yeah, he's a brick wall, no doubt. In the last game, Italy's last game, we saw that he went off through what appeared to be a hamstring injury. I don't know if that just comes with age and experience. Maybe he felt a little niggler and thought, you know what, let me just come off just for precautionary reasons. And also on my list, we have the legend Sergio Ramos, who this week, just a couple of days ago, Real Madrid confirmed that Sergio Ramos is leaving the club after 16 years. So that's definitely an end of an era. And for Sergio Ramos as well, like, he needs no introduction. Everyone is familiar with what Sergio Ramos has done at club level and also at the international level. Spain, obviously, he won the 2010 World Cup with his national side. He also won the European Championship twice. First in 2008, and then he followed that up in 2012. He's a 4-time Champions League winner, 5-time Spanish champion, 2-time Spanish Cup winner, 4-time Spanish Cup winner, and he's also won the FIFA Club World Cup 4 times. So yeah, his trophy cabinet must be just overloaded, but I don't think he'll be making. It's just massive. Overloaded. I don't think he's going to be making the next Euros, but who knows? Obviously, he's now brought an end to his career with Real Madrid, so he might look to move on to another club, and depending how well he's at his next club, because we know that he is not only is he a football legend, he's not just a club legend for Real Madrid, but also he's a Spain legend as well. So he might sneak his way into the Spain squad for the World Cup. And also, like I said, Lowe, who is currently the German manager, I just wanted to pay homage to him because, like I said earlier on, 15 years in charge of Germany. He came in 2004 to 2006. And he started off as the German assistant manager. And then subsequently, he took over the national side in 2006. His road to success is one that definitely deserves praise. In the Euros, in 2008, he became runner-up to Spain. And in 2012 and in 2016, he won the bronze medal. Obviously, we know what he did at the World Cup. He's got the trophy in his hand. In 2014, Germans were crowned World Cup champions. In 2010, before they were crowned World Cup champions, they were crowned. They received the runners-up medal behind Spain and the Netherlands. And he's also won the 2017 FIFA Confederations Cup. So he's a great man, wonderful manager. I'm sure the Germans love him, but I'm sure football fans in general love him and will miss him dearly. So we had to pay homage to Mr. Lowe and on the list.
Definitely.
Well done,
before we go to Robert and some stats, the Christian Eriksen, I was watching that game. Unbelievable. I thought the worst for Christian Eriksen, to tell you the honest truth. When I saw the way he went down and how the players were, I thought, oh my God, this championship's finished.
Yeah. It didn't look good. And there was the coverage on the what channel was it? Was it BBC or ITV?
BBC. They got absolutely
BBC won because they were just disgusting of their coverage.
How they kept the camera on the pitch. I think that's a moment that the director is like, that rabbit in the headlight, like, oh my God, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? They didn't know what to do, and they kept the camera on him, and they were getting murdered. They got some savage comments and criticism for how they handled it. Funny thing, I don't know if you saw, Ernie, that they said that Christian Eriksen took his COVID injection on the 30th of May.
Christian Eriksen?
Yeah.
On the 3rd? The mind boggles.
Yeah, taking 2 jab. What a thing. Well, anyway.
Just like staying on Christian Eriksen, since Ernie brought it up, I'm glad he did actually. Some good news for the Denmark midfielder. He has been discharged from hospital after a successful operation to fit a defibrillator implant. So speedy recovery to Christian Eriksen.
Yes,
most definitely.
yes.
You know that.
Yes.
Robert, what's happening in your neck of the woods? I mean, Italy.
Yeah.
Italy.
Before I get on to it, I just wanted to mention about Eriksen as well. And what people should know is that it's more and more common, this thing about people collapsing or heart stopping with athletes. Yeah. And just to give you a point, I know you mentioned about him having an injection, but with athletes, the more they work, the harder they work and train, they have thicker heart muscles. Their heart muscles, the walls of their heart muscles thicken. And there's a condition that their heart can stop in a few athletes during a game. And I know you remember a few years ago that happened to a player. What was his name?
Oh, what?
Fabrice Muamba.
Fabrice Muamba. The same thing happened to him. Exactly the same thing happened to him, where he collapsed. Yeah, and it's something you should be aware of, because again, in the press, they started to come out with something this week. I saw an article come out where they started talking about linking this to what Guardiola was saying about players playing too many games, and this is like using this as evidence of it. But it's not. It's not about players playing too many games. There is a condition where this can happen to you as an athlete. It can happen to anyone. I lost a friend through this last year, playing a game of squash, and he collapsed.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's something we can pick up on a later date, because time is right against us here. So I'd like to know what you've got on some teams, some stats, some teams for us, Rob.
Okay, so what we got now is Italy. I wanted to touch on the Italy team. We said last week we had a big conversation about this, that these guys would be the dark horses, and they've come out and just showing us that. I said they were averaging 3 goals a game.
You did.
And they scored 3 goals each game on
top scorer so far, right?
Yeah, 6 goals. So what I wanted to do was to touch on the players and the difference in this team, what this team's doing differently. For the first time, we've seen Italy come out with wingers. They're not traditionally a team that play with wingers. They're normally narrow. Yeah, but what they've done is that the manager has managed to put this team together using 2 wingers, and I want to name out these 2 wingers. The first one comes up is Lorenzo Insigne. Yeah, this young man. Yeah, that's him, Insigne. He's 30 years old, plays on the left, and he's been quite impressive so far. Watching him in the last 2 games.
Horrible player, man. Liverpool know about him.
He does
Champions League.
Plays for Napoli.
Yeah, under Ancelotti really got the best out of him, and even though he's a late bloomer, you can see he has that. If I don't know, Robert, if you look at his playing style, it's very similar to Mane. It's just like he's an absolute nuisance. But technically quick, 2 feet, and very sharp up in the head.
Yeah, and that's one of the things you notice with this Italian team. They don't give the ball away too easily.
Yeah,
it's hard to get the ball off of them. And so you got him. So on the right-hand side now, you've got Domenico Berardi.
Oh, he's been excellent.
He's 26, and he's playing out on the right. So between these 2 guys, they cause a lot of problems to teams going forward. Going out wide. So you got those 2, and in the middle, you got the man that's organising everything, Mr. Jorginho at Chelsea. I know he used to get a lot of stick when he came to Chelsea before, because he kind of what's the name of the manager that took him there? Forgot the manager that took him to Chelsea, but he displaced.
Oh, the Roma, the guy who went to Juventus manager.
Yeah. When he came in, he did replace Kante in the Chelsea team, didn't he? In Kante's position, because that's what they used him as. But now he's in this team and he's controlling things from the back, coming out, bringing the ball right through midfield and setting up play. I think if you want to stop this Italian team, they need to put someone on this guy, just to close him down. Don't let him get the ball. Don't let him organize things. But he's doing it. And also the old guard, Mr. Chiellini, the wall, at 36 years old.
Did you see that tackle in that game? That last minute tackle?
Yeah. No, this guy, they need him. They do need this guy. He's the captain, and I think he's the one that organises things and keeps them solid. I think without him, they will have problems at the back. You got to think of it. This team hasn't conceded a goal for 29 games.
Yeah, that's
has he played in all the games though? Because I know Bonucci is a mainstay as well. I'm not sure if he's played in all of the qualifying games.
Probably not. Sure, I'm not sure how many of them he's played. But if you think about it, the team hasn't conceded a goal for 29 games.
But you know this, Robert, with the Italians, wherever they found him, Chiellini, there's more. There's definitely more. Bonucci's no mug. He's like, you know, you see Bonucci, Bazzagli, when they used to play 3 of them at the back at one point. And you can't breach them. That's just Italian football to a T. So one thing that the manager has done, I don't know if you'd agree, he's kept the old style Italy backline with a damn good goalkeeper who's just gone to PSG, right?
Yeah. Donnarumma,
and he's come with a brand new front half of the engine.
Right. And this engine is kicking. This engine is kicking. So the thing that we need to see now is how well this team can do if they step up, because it's okay being in this group, but now they've got to try and mix it with the big boys, and I want to see what they do when they come up against like your Portugal, your Belgiums, you know, and your France. So that's what we want to see happen. You know, see what happens when they start moving into that sort of company and playing. That's where they'll be tested. You know,
well, I think a game. They haven't played Wales yet, right?
No.
Well, I'm not saying that Wales is a test.
Yeah.
I mean the ultimate test, but I think the Wales game will be a test for them. And I think if they come through and they lick down Wales and they win that group, like 3 games back to back, they're not even dark horse anymore. Then is the darkest, blackest hearts in the race.
What we've got to find out now, right, is that if they win, they're going to be playing at Wembley. They're going to be coming over here to be playing. Yeah. If they don't and they come second in their group, what would happen then? Does anyone know what the feel like?
We have to look at that table again, which is very difficult to download. But they'd be happy playing all their games in Rome, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would be. I don't know if they would stay in Rome. Would they stay in Rome? What I'm getting at is that would they stay in Rome if they came second in their? We'd have to pull up the.
I can't understand it because they've got, you know, they've made it so that the best of the 3, the top 2 go through, and the third team, the best of 4 of them go through, and I'm completely lost as to what's going on. So I'm going to wait until it's finished, and they group them up in the group. Then we get a better idea, I think. You know what I mean? But out of the teams that we've seen so far, who looks apart? I mean, it looks like Italy has got a lot.
Italy's looking good for the outsider, right? To put it that way. So they're looking good for the outsider. Belgium is looking strong. They are looking strong, but they were a bit shaky yesterday. Yeah, and I had a friend complaining about the manager and saying that his teams can't defend. But the truth is, they've got 2 centre-halves that are moving on now, right? Vertonghen and Alderweireld. Vertonghen's 34, Alderweireld's 32, and they're not looking as solid as they used to, right? As defenders, as centre-halves. So that's the weak link in that team at the moment for me. You know, they're centre-halves, the centre-half pairing. They need to be working on that if they're going to get through and make an impact. And, you know, like I say, I think it's their last chance to actually win a trophy. They've made it past 3 quarterfinals in the last 3 major competitions. So I think this is their time to try and step up and do something.
Yeah.
I just want to. You're going to say something?
Go on.
Let's finish off with them. So if you've got something to say on Belgium, because I just want to give a mention on another team.
Yeah, quickly, because we've got 10 minutes.
Okay, all right. Portugal. I think I sent a photo over of Ronaldo. You spoke last week about managers, yeah? And that wasn't the photo I said, actually. It was Ronaldo fighting with the manager. Do you remember the last Euros?
Yeah.
Ronaldo got injured, and it was more like he was the manager when it was on the side.
I think he's still that manager on that pitch, bro.
Yeah, and so we're talking about manager making a difference. This guy is showing managerial qualities, and I think that he could push his team again, to make an impact on this.
But he showed in the last 10 minutes of the game, he wanted to wrap the game up so bad. I'm not only going to wrap the game up, and a lot of people kind of pointed to the fact that he just wanted to score and wrapped up. No, he wanted to. You can see through the game he was getting frustrated because he's saying none of the chances are falling to me. So once the wall fell down, he was like, we're going to kick the wall down and show teams that we are a team to worry about. And yes, I will score my goals. So I can see the frustration there, but I think a lot of the commentators and people are kind of, focusing on him being a selfish player. I think they wanted to lay a marker down on the competition. He didn't want, Portugal to go through with just one goal. He needs 3 or 4. So you're wary about Portugal. And once Cristiano Ronaldo starts, it's rapido. It's rapid all the way, mate.
And they got a good team as well.
The third goal that they scored was absolutely amazing. I was dizzy watching them out passes.
Did you watch the boy Sanchez, my player?
Yeah.
They look.
You know where he's coming to, Ernie.
Yeah, all right. Wherever. It don't matter where he goes.
Hand him over.
Listen. Anyway, we're not talking Premiership now, right? So you just go on with your little Premiership business and your little
hand them over.
The team who finished third, right? You just go on with them. But business now, because it's 9 minutes to kick off.
Wait!
Till Robbo's beloved England kick off against Braveheart and Bonnie Prince Charlie and that. Crystal, how do you see this game tonight? Very briefly.
Some people are probably not going to like this, but I would love an upset. We haven't seen an upset so far. It's a Friday night. I'm going to go and order my food, grab a drink, and I would love to kick back and see an upset. I don't think Scotland have it in their locker, to be honest with you. I think England got this. It's at Wembley, at home, home of football, as they like to call it, in front of their home fans. It's literally a football derby for them. So they should beat Scotland comfortably as well. But yeah, I would love a upset. And also Scotland really and truly can't afford to lose. Like if they lose, it's not the worst case scenario because they still have their last game to get something out of. But still they shouldn't be losing to England, or they don't want to lose to England because like I said, it's a huge derby, massive rivalry, but I think England's gonna beat them.
Score prediction.
Can we go for 2-1? 2-1 England?
Okay. Robert, what do you think?
I think it's an England win. I think it'll be like a typical English Scottish game. We've got the rain, we've got everything prepared for it. Yeah, the weather is just right, and I reckon it'll be 2-0 to England.
I can't really see England losing this. I mean, there's 20,000 Scots supporters in London at the minute. Only 2,500 can get into the stadium. I think England's going to have 20,000 in there. And I just think England's got too much of them. I think I'm going to go out on a limb.
Say it. While you're saying it, I can screenshot this. Go, what's the score, Eddie?
I'm playing out on a limb. I'll play 3-1 England.
3-1.
I'm not supporting them, but I just think they've got too much for Scotland, and I'm going to think 3-1. Yeah, all right, Robert, take your theme tune off. Take your theme tune off, Robert. Ewan McDowell. You are used to Ewan McDowell.
That clip's going on. That clip's going on Instagram, man. And just spitting out the facts. Come on, England! I think they're going to win.
No, they beat Scotland. They beat Scotland. I'm going out 3-1 England. What do you think, Robert?
Ernie, you took my scoreline, man. I think it's going to be 3-1.
Okay.
If it's not 3-1,
where do you think the game's going to be won and lost?
Midfield.
Okay.
I think England have got too much for them. England is too quick for them. I watched the game with them against was it Czech? Who did Scotland play? Sorry, what was the first game?
Czechoslovakia, wasn't it?
Jeez.
No, it wasn't Czechoslovakia. It wasn't Czechoslovakia. Who did Scotland play? Scotland played Czech Republic. Lost 2-0. Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
The defense. Awful. I think England carved them open. I'll go with you, Ernie. I reckon it's going to be but I don't actually think Scotland score, you know.
Oh.
Unless Adams get on the score sheet. Che Adams, if he bullies England's backline, he'll get something for himself. So big up Che. But I think it might be a 3-0 or a 2-0. This I'd say 3-0, Ern. 3-0.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's going to be goals there. I think Scotland might sneak one because Pickford is likely to drop a huge clanger at any time.
It's coming. You know it's coming. That might be coming home. A clanger's coming home.
So, I see them as 3-1. Just before we go, Pogba, the enigma, plays superb for France but can't play for Manchester United properly. What's your take?
I keep hearing people. I don't know why people having to go at Pogba. I think Pogba's got Kante next to him when he plays for France. Yeah, they say
when he plays for Manchester United, he's got Scott McTominay.
Right. So there you have it. Look, you can't expect United if they play Pogba in a forward attacking position. He always plays well. It's when they want to play him as a 2 in the middle.
Rob, your man Fernandes was struggling for Portugal. He was listen, my man Jota was struggling for Portugal as well. They don't look as comfortable.
Fernandes, I don't think Fernandes
struggled,
United, but he was still doing his little thing. He was still doing his little thing.
I think what happens, right, when you get through the group stages, you're allowed to struggle as long as you get through. It's when you get to the later stages that you got to deliver. Yeah.
Well, it's the best. It's the best. You know, it's international football. We've always got to remember these are the best players for the national teams, so you shouldn't have it all the way. The only person that looked like he's gonna dance his way through this competition like it's no problem is Lukaku. It's like whoever, I'm scoring. So he looks like he's gonna be number one on the shooting charts. But interesting conversation, guys. And let's hope that it's an interesting match today. And we'll be back again, I suppose, in 7 days. And Ernie, I don't think no shocks are going to work next week.
No, there will be shocks. There will be
shocks. I
mean, if Crystal gets her way, the shock's going to be tonight. A major shock if Crystal gets her way.
I would love a shock tonight. Love it. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Robert. I would love a shock.
Right.
Before we go,
Crystal, I think the only ache you get is a belly ache tonight. Scotland.
Crystal, before Crystal goes, another very quick piece, Crystal. The uptake in female presenters in this Euros. What's going on? It's like the men them are getting sidelined. What's going on?
Because they're no good.
I like it. It's about time. I think if you're good enough to do the job, then you should be allowed to do the job. Yeah. And you can't fault the likes of Alex Scott and Eniola Aloka as well when it comes to presenting. Like, they do their homework. They do the bare minimum. There's a lot of like male presenters who don't do their homework. They come on, they wing it, and they end up making a fool of themselves.
Crystal, you've named 2 there, right?
Yeah.
But I'm listening, and I can't hear no man.
You know why I've named those 2? Because those are the 2 that represents our community. I can't speak for others outside of our community because they haven't lived our experience. And also, like, literally, the only reason why I've named those 2 is those are the only 2 that exist. If I was to name another black woman, it would be Samantha Johnson. But of course,
who was the Asian woman that was on yesterday? I don't know.
You think I wasn't watching it yesterday, but the only prolific Asian female presenter I can think of is Reshmin Chowdhury.
She wasn't a presenter. She was one of the game analyzers yesterday.
Okay.
I have no clue. But I know she does a lot of Champions League stuff. So is her face familiar? Have you seen her?
I've never seen her before. And I might not be. She may be South American, but she never have a South American accent.
Okay.
which is an Asian.
Interesting. I'll have to go back and look at who that person was. But
analyzing the game.
I'm keeping my beady eyes on it because it looked like we could become extinct. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you one thing, Ernie. I was watching your man Gary Neville.
Oh yeah.
When they put him in the chair, and you got the Dons and like Patrick Vieira and that man, they look small. They're talking small, bro. No talk.
Well, listen. They're going to be kicking off anytime now. So once again, thank you very much, Statsman Robert from Mambo City. If you ever get a chance to watch Salsa, watch Robert and his wife Jean. Incredible. Talawa TV, Littlebot Talawa, Crystal Davis, Robbo from Liverpool ranks, right? And of course, United with Robert. Hey, Scotland!
Peace.
All right, take care, man.
Nice one.
Oh, bye, guys.
No.